that lobbied, and they spent $72 million. Pfizer, another company that you're going to see a lot, spent $42 million. Merc, the notorious Merc that Shanine mentioned, $40 million. Eli Lilly Company, $36 million. Bristol and Myers Squibb, $31 million. American Hospital Association, $79 million. Now, you're going to see these names again, so just keep them in your mind. And this says it does not include campaign contributions. So not only are they lobbying and spending this kind of money, but the people that they're getting behind to put in to get in office, they're not even telling you what they're spending on getting them in office. Now this is just what they're spending to get them to produce legislation and things that they want to go their way. Next. You can skip that. These points. Now this is the name of the DVD, and this gentleman right here is named Leonard Horowitz, and he was a guy who actually worked for. He wrote the famous, well-known book called Emerging Viruses, and he was a guy who worked for basically worked for the establishment. To make a long story short, based on his research that he was doing to vindicate the dental profession. He came across some information that let him know that the companies that were behind the dental profession and other things were actually organs in spreading diseases. So one of the things he pointed out in this particular clip that I chose to use was that in 1969, Fort Detrick produced more than what they told the public was that it was the 7 germs that they produced for bioweapons. And in 1969, as you're going to see later, President Nixon was supposed to stop the bio-war effort as far as producing drugs and biological weapons. He was supposed to put that on halt. In 1950s, this is when they came out with the SV40. This is also the year that Shanine pointed out that the messenger said that we wasn't going to get vaccinations. So 1950s, he already knew that what this was going to be hitting for. And they used the polio vaccination as the way to this. The SV40 was an attempt to produce an AIDS-like, HIV-type virus, but they hadn't perfected it yet. So this got them pretty close to it. 1962 Special Virus Cancer Program. This was a program, since they know that they already did this, they already developed the disease, and they did further research. They changed Fort Detrick to another name that you'll see later. After they completed producing the initial disease, which was SV40, which gave birth to the HIV and the SIV, which you're going to see later. They started this program to start to make money off the treatment for the cancers that they knew was coming. Okay? Now, the disease created, now listen to what I'm about to say to you right now, because this is real important. The disease that they created in 1971, they created herpes. They made flu. So these are not naturally occurring situations right here. These are somebody went in the lab and doctored them some stuff, and they made this. Leukemia, fibrosarcoma. This is going to be very important because this is a precursor to the HIV process. This is one of the things that an immunosuppressor actually releases. Breast tumors. This stuff that you get now from cancers, we didn't have any epidemics of this stuff before they produced these diseases. Kuru. This is a progenitor to mad cow disease. Now remember, they made this. So all of that mad cow stuff basically was a setup. Next. Go ahead. You can skip this one. Oh, matter of fact, hold up. What she pointed out was some interesting things. Everything that she talked about, as she mentioned them, they would come up on the screen if we had the everything was working correctly. But some very key ingredients that we need to pay attention to at this point is RNA and DNA material. I don't know if you know what RNA and DNA material is, but I'll eventually explain. Retrovirus. This is a term that a lot of people come in contact with, but they don't know what that term means. I'll get into that later. The simian virus 40, SV40, as you've been seeing, is constantly coming up as a precursor to cancer or precursor to the HIV type viruses. Decompose animal tissue. This is how they actually produce the cancer-causing agents, like she said, by running those diseases through the tissues or grafting them through the tissues. Next one.
Enrique, real quick. You know how she was saying how some of the immunization, whatever, will cause diabetes, right?
Right.
So you know I'm type 1 diabetic, so I've been on insulin now for years.
Okay.
Now, is there anything in the actual, synthetic insulin?
I didn't do any research on that, so I'm not sure about the insulin itself.
Okay.
I just know that, yeah, you do definitely get the diabetes, you get, what's the other thing? Some of these things lead to heart disease. Some of them lead to all these things that we think that we have naturally doing. You're going to see that these diseases, these viruses are what's open you up to it. Next. I'm saving some stuff. Even though I don't have I'm telling you, the videos would have really just been a 1-2 punch.
You could play them from the video player if you know the specific files that you want to play in order.